Hello everyone, this is Carlito Fluito in another Sunday session, and today is a Sunday secret session. And why? Because today we have a more spiritual topic. We are going to explore our conscious, and that's why I want to introduce you to SPIPC, which is spirituality and psychology. And why this Sunday secret? Because along this year of 2022, we will have 5 special months with 5 Sundays. And the first of them is January, as we can see here. So then the next session will be in May, okay? So for today, we are going to learn and discover the wonderful world of dream interpretation, and we will have conversations with the unconscious. We will learn how to explore our unconscious mind, how to go deeper, how to learn much more, and how to apply this, very important, to our professional artistic careers. So I invite you to have a notebook and to open the box of comments to answer these questions. So first of all, let's go with my future story. Normally I tell the story of my past. Today I'm going to link it with the story of my future. So who am I becoming? This is an extremely important question to understand how everything is changing, and we are not what we are right now. We are what we are moving towards. The big main question is, what's the mission of your soul? And this is a so deep question that once you understand this, everything in your life can become aligned. So I am Carlito Fluito, and I help human beings to become more aligned using spirituality and psychology. But I wasn't always like this. Once upon a time, I was a very stubborn and very scientific, rigid, closed-minded teenager and also young adult. But at some point of this journey where I thought that I knew everything and nobody could teach me anything other than science, because science knew everything, then I had a very powerful spiritual experience. I was very hooked to my laptop and to my phone, and at some point I had to make some exams, and I tell to my flatmate, please take my laptop, take my computer, and don't give them to me. When I came back to the room and I started studying, I started feeling these sensations, and I felt like everything around me was alive. Everything around was very intense, and I was alive, and I was in that present moment. And this connection just exploded in my mind. And since then, I started to get more into Taoism, more into meditation, more into spirituality. If you want to know more, you have some of these stories here in this book. Since then, I've been researching into meditation, I've been practicing, I've been doing different training courses, so much so that I was working in this YouTube channel that you can find. It's still open, it's Carlito Fluito. And there I was spreading this message about how important it is to keep on researching spirituality, to keep on evolving, to keep on investigating this aspect of human mind, human psychology, and human being. So I was growing this brand of Carlito Fluito. And I had this clear idea of merging my scientific background with this more spirituality experiential approach. And I was like, okay, what I need is to make a PhD on psychology, specifically on spirituality and psychology. But once I got my position in Brussels in a university, in a Belgian university, I was realizing that I was extremely unhappy. I was going to the office day after day, feeling confused, feeling lonely, feeling miserable, feeling like I didn't want to be seated in front of a laptop just working with text. No, to research spirituality, what I wanted was to experience, was to do things, was to invite people to fully experience and recognize the unlimited potential of their mind and their beings. So imagine this intention and this power, this energy in front of me was dying day after day, when I had to come back to the same desk to keep on doing this researching papers and so. So I was so miserable that at some point I was like, I cannot anymore. I cannot anymore. That one day I was in front of the laptop, I was almost crying. I cannot anymore. And I took the decision of quitting with that PhD and become a non-PhD. And then it happened this. That before the pandemic started, I was in Amsterdam and I was with the clear intention of taking this psilocybin. And psilocybin, it's also towards the end of the book, this story. And I can read you a bit of this just so you realize how deep was this experience. The chapter is called Om Namah. And it starts like this. They know it all. They know it all. I don't know it. I don't know it. I don't know it. I don't know it. It's done. It's done. It's done. So one huge insight that I had from this psilocybin is like my logical, rational, conscious mind was so limited that couldn't understand all this huge vastness of information and huge vastness of, of the consciousness and the universe that so many religions had already explained. And because I couldn't understand this with my intellectual, logical, speaking mind, I had to surrender it. I had to let it go and just use alternative ways of understanding the reality. Like is the body, like is the experience, like is this more spiritual, more energetic levels of understanding the reality. So that was so intense that I was keeping on researching, on experiencing, and more recently, in January of 2022, I took this other psilocybe, and in this case the experience was very clear. I have these huge visions, these huge dreams that are coming true, but the lesson that arrived so clearly, the download was now is the phase of materialization. And these videos, these sessions is part of this materialization. All these ideas, all these messages that I'm spreading are materialized by working constantly, being patient with the process, with the product, with the results, but working hard. And this is the process of materialization. So much so that moving towards the future, the idea is to go to Africa, live in Africa, build this brand of spirituality and psychology, build an eco village, live with a community, open a temple, open a resort where people can come and they can spend one weekend, 1 week, several weeks, just focusing on their consciousness, focusing on trying different practices to evolve their consciousness, experience the limits of their mind and beyond, so they can wake up as an individuals, and little by little, individual by individual, we can all in the planet change the direction that we are taking and live more in harmony and more in a sustainable way within this wonderful planet that is planet Earth. If you want to know more, it's not in this book because I'm writing another book. This is 13 letters since 2013. This one is going to be 22 letters from 2022. I'm already written in the process of writing, and I hope that by December of 2022, this is already available for you. Having said this, is your moment where we're going to do this vibrational survey, and I invite you to do some conscious breathing to connect with yourself and write in the comment box of the YouTube video, what's your name? Where do you want to live moving towards the future? What do you want to practice or do in the future, in how many years? And how you plan to contribute to humankind? This is so powerful and so deep question. Also, what are your personal challenges? What are they going to be in the future? What will you value in the future? What will be important for you? And what is going to be your vibration? And for this, we can use this scale from shame, guilt, apathy to love, joy, peace, and enlightenment. So please, pause the video and answer these questions. Moving on into the topic of today, we are going to explore the dreams and how we are going to do this with a story to start tuning in. So once upon a time, there was one person that was in this world where suddenly some trees appear, some buildings appear, some things appear, and one character, one person appear, another person, and these two people, they start to speak between them, and they started to say very insightful, very important things. And at some point, one of them said something that was extremely relevant for our protagonist of the story. So much so that that person wake up and realize that what had listened was a dream. What had just lived was a dream. And it was so important, so relevant that he was like, okay, I need to write this, I need to remember this, this is fundamental. But the moment that this person looked at the phone and checked the time, it was like, okay, it's 6 in the morning. I still can sleep 1 or 2 hours more. So she put the phone down, she came out to sleep. And when that person wake up, that person remembered that the dream had been so powerful, that the insight had been so powerful, but the person didn't remember what was the content of this insight. And because that person didn't write it at that point, the memory was gone. What is the lesson of this story? The lesson is very clear. One of them is like when we're in the dreams, we are having these unconscious insights because our mind is also working. But the parts of the brain that consolidate the memories, they're not working so much. So then we don't have the memory, we don't have the consolidation of the memory. So what do we have to do? We have to be writing. And we have to write them as soon as possible because they slip through the mind. How and why? Because this is going to help us to do a conscious interpretation that is going to help us to really consolidate the memory, consolidate the learning, and be able to apply these changes in our lives. So now we are going to do a couple of games to do some exploration of the realities, especially to activate what is called a lucid dreaming. Lucid dreaming is when we realize that we are dreaming, so then we can start changing the environment around us, and we can start doing some practices on us as well. So how to activate lucid dreaming? So are you dreaming? That's the question that we need to ask ourselves. So right now, around you, you are in an environment and you are going to apply the RAIN technique. R-A-E-N, RAIN technique. So recognize, first of all, look at your surroundings. What is around you? And recognize. And now accept that all of these things are around you. So you accept your place, you accept your environment, you recognize it. And now you pick one object, for example this map, and then you investigate them. You look into the tiny details, you look into the light, you look into the wave, the shadows. You investigate that object. And then you don't identify with the place where you are, you don't identify with the object, you observe it. So why this technique can help you with lucid dreaming? Many of us have this dream where we are running and something is chasing us, is following you, wants to harm you. So this is the moment to realize and to apply the RAIN technique. So first you recognize the environment. Okay. What is happening around me? And you accept it. Okay, I'm running, there is something following me. And then you investigate. You start looking around, looking into the details, which is going to be something that is going to be very useful right now. So we look into the details, we investigate, but we don't identify ourselves with the situation. And this is the moment where the thoughts will start appearing and you will be like, okay, is this a dream? Am I dreaming? Now we go to reality checks. When you have the slightest thought that you might be in a dream, then you do a reality check. What is a reality check? It's a simple technique to know whether you are dreaming or not. And what is this? One, look at your hand, look away, look at your hand. The hand is an element that is complex enough to not be able to be recreated by the brain in a fast way. So do it now. Look at your hand, look away, look at your hand. When you do this in a dream, you will see your hand normal, you will look away, and when you come back and see your hand, it will be weird. It will be like a change or a strange. And that's like, okay, you're in a dream. When I practice this technique and I had a lucid dreaming, for me, I look at the hand, then I look away, I look at the hand, I was like, okay. Then I saw like one finger was this way, one finger was this way, one finger was this way, one finger was this way. It was so strange that I was like, okay, I'm in a lucid dream. And then I could start changing around me. And it's so powerful because then you can start do exercises like the one that we are going to do right now, for example. So we are going to do a meditation exercise with a deepening technique to imagine that we are actually in a lucid dreaming. So we're going to have this lucid dreaming experience and we're going to transport ourselves to a theater and to start transform around. So this is extremely useful if you are in the process of creating a new performance, for example. So I'm going to ask you to sit straight with your back straight, roll your shoulders, stretch your head, take a big deep breath, look at a fixed point in front of you, exhale, relax your body, breathing in and breathing out, closing your eyes. Keep on breathing, connecting with your body, connecting with your breath, relaxing any tension that you might have in your body. And we are going to go deep and deep and deep with the count from 10 to 1. So we start going 10, 9, 8, going deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. 7, 6, 5, going deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. 4, 3, 1 deep, 2, going deeper and deeper and deeper. 1. Now in this state, you might notice that you might be in a dream right now. You recognize your environment, you accept it, you investigate, you don't identify with it. You visualize your hand to do a reality check. So look at your hand, look away, look at your hand, and realize that you are actually in a dream. So you are having a lucid dreaming, and you can transport yourself to a theater, and you go to a theater, and you see the stage. You can do whatever you want, so you can start flying, and you fly a bit, and you see the stage from there, and you start putting different dancers, different performers, and you can put all the scenography that you want, huge element of scenography. You can put the costumes that you like, and you can put the dancers to do something amazing, like flying on the air, for example. You can change and modify all these elements. You can add new elements. You can make other elements disappear. And now you go again to the front, and you see this state, and you commit to take a mental picture of it, a mental image. You look intensely at the stage with the intention of remembering what you are saying, what you are seeing, to represent it once you came out of this dream. So you focus one more time on the stage with the intention of remember it. And now breathe again. I'm going to count from 1 to 5, and at the count of 5, you'll be wide awake. You will have this image in your mind, and you will be fine, feeling good and refreshed. 1, 2, 3. Get ready to open your eyes, feeling fine, perfectly healthy, with the image of this state in your mind. 4, 5. Wide awake, open your eyes, feeling fine, perfectly good, and with the image of this state in your mind. So now I'm going to ask you to pause this video right now, take a piece of paper and draw and sketch what you saw, and then continue with the session. So see you now. Now, please sketch the image that you have, because that's the importance of the exercise. We are going to cover a little bit of theory. So this is the wisdom section. So in this section, we are going to explore something that you might be familiar of, which is how every sleep cycle has 1.5 hours of duration, and the REM phase, which is when we are dreaming, is happening at the end of the cycle. So after the REM phase, we wake up and we fall asleep again, wake up and fall asleep again. And as you can see on the graph, at the end of the night, the REM phase is longer and it's easier to come back to the REM phase. What does it mean? That the dreams that you have in the morning at the end of the sleep cycle are gonna be much more longer, easier to remember. So it's your moment to take a notebook, to wake up and write everything down. So a bit of dreaming, like why do we dream? First of all, you need to understand that a dream is 360 degrees of yourself, of your own psychology. So everything in the dream is communicating with you. And this is very important, very relevant for later to learn how to interpret this dream. So why do we dream? We can satisfy our own wishes. We can do whatever we want. And especially we can file our memories. So we have many memories, many things happen during the days. So we can order all these concepts, all this new knowledge. We can develop new neural pathways. This is so powerful because when you are in a dream, and especially in a lucid dreaming, and you are committed to practice something specifically, for example, a choreography or a dance step, your brain is very much flexible at this moment, so you can really wire this new neural pathway. For example, to become a more self-confident person. Also, when we are in periods of a lot of studying, you have a lot of new information, so your dreams are going to become very intense and much more vivid, which is going to facilitate also the remembrance of the brain, of the dreams, as well as to activate this lucid dreaming state. And with this, we move to the practice, which is the silent materialization. You might be familiar with this book of the Artist Path by Julia Cameron. In this case, we have the morning pages, which is this technique that you basically write in the morning 1 page, 2 pages, 3 pages of your stream of consciousness. So you basically have to write whatever it comes. Now, we are going to modify slightly this technique, and we are going to focus on journaling about the dreams. So we are going to use dream recalling and put everything that we can remember into these morning pages. So we are going to focus on journaling about our dreams during the morning pages. So, and now, the more interesting part of the video is how can we interpret this dream that we are writing. So, the big question here is, what does it mean to you? And this is so fundamental. So, for example, we are going to use a dream that I have a week ago. I'm in the cinema, watching a movie, and then the protagonist is a pink elephant. Then I open the door to get some fresh air into the cinema, but also the light enters into the room. And then I think that I'm bothering people, but the people are not complaining. Okay, so that was the dream. What does it mean? So the big question here is going element by element, asking what does it mean for me? So for me, a cinema is a room for entertainment. Also, is the mental screen technique, which is a technique for materialization and visualization that I will explain in another video. The movie is a fiction, so it's something that is not real. The protagonist is the successful role model. And the pink elephant is something strong, is something great, but it's also something weird, something that we cannot control. It's an impulse. Don't think about pink elephants. The door is the in and out of another dimension. And the fresh air is this oxygen, the entrance of the oxygen that I need to survive. Now, this light is a revealing new reality, a discovery. And then I think that I'm bothering people, which is an activation of my social insecurities, but then they don't complain. So then I receive the social acceptance. So what do we do now? We substitute element by element this in the same dream. So we rewrite the dream with a different interpretation. So I'm in a place for entertainment, watching a fiction. The successful role model is an uncontrollable impulse of strength, greatness, and weirdness. And then I open this access to this new dimension to be able to survive because I need it. But then we reveal this discovery that enters into the room. And then all my insecurities appear, but I'm socially accepted. So now, applying this, in this case, this, as I take it, it refers to how I'm now much more directly giving this message about conscious spirituality and all these energies, astral projection, dreams, everything, no? So for me, this daily reality is a bit of a fiction. So we are in this world, like doing things to entertain ourselves, like having jobs and then doing things and doing that. The successful role model is this impulse of strength, greatness, but also weirdness, which is to be able to express and communicate all these sensations, all this new reality, these understandings. And then I open this access to this new dimension, which is the exploration of consciousness, because I need it. It's like my soul to be able to survive. But this revealing discovery enters, which is all these new strange things that I'm experimenting that challenge the understanding of reality, about synchronicities, about how wide awake can we become, what is possible with our minds, with our beings. So I have these insecurities, like people are gonna like it or not, they are going to be bothered, but I understand, or my brain tells me it's okay, I'm going to be socially accepted. So you see how beautiful is this dream that is telling me it's okay, you can continue exploring and evolving because you need it, and it's gonna be fine. So, and that's my mind. Imagine your mind telling you this type of messages every night. So please don't miss it out. Take the notebook and write. And this is exactly the embodiment. How we are going to be, this is going to be a life challenge for you. So I'm going to challenge you to start with the morning pages every day, to start writing, and then put this dream about this journal dream. So focus on the dreams, and then start applying this dream interpretation technique. Remember to do every day, all the time, reality checks. So then you will become so used to do it every day that during the dream you will start doing it, and then you will realize that you are in a dream. And once you enter a lucid dreaming, things will become extremely fun, extremely insightful for you, and extremely valuable. And having said this, I want to tell you something new about training Rosas. As you might know, we are doing counseling for artists. So we focus on developing creative, sustainable, and healthy careers. And we focus on artistic, professional, and mental aspects of life. Now, we are going to launch in February of 2022 support groups. What is a support group? When you support the group supports you. And that's the beauty. So in these support groups, we are going to go deeper into our personal well-being. And we are going to help you to advance in your career, for you specifically. And we are going to get more personal assistant. And this is fundamental. Because in the free Sunday sessions, we are giving you a topic, and then we talk about the topic. But we cannot go deeper into your personal challenges. We cannot help you so specifically into what you are going through. For that, we are going to work in groups of maximum 5 people, and we're going to be meeting once per week. So then we become consistent. And we're going to work specifically in your own goals. Remember, the first session of 2022 is about goals. So we are going to work into making reality these goals. And we are going to work in emotions. Remember the session about the stress and anxiety. So how can you get to these goals while enjoying the process, while living in joy, while living in love? And of course, what the challenges you have. You might be struggling with connecting deeper with people, or maybe you struggle with self-confidence, or maybe you hate ballet classes. Everything is possible. So if this is happening to you, we are going to focus exactly on those challenges. So you are going to get much more personal assistance. And the question is, and what is the price of this? So just for your information, 1 hour with a psychologist in Europe can cost from 100 to 50 euros. Only 1 hour, one session. And imagine, in my case, with the degree, with the master, and also with these years of PhD, and all my experience and research concerning spirituality, yoga, meditation. And on top of that, I'm also a dancer. So one dance class in Europe goes between 10 and 20 euros for one single hour. So this is the prices of the market. It's not something that I have invented. And still, because I believe that mental health has to be a right and accessible for everyone, I'm giving this price, which is for 1 month of support, for the whole month, the 4 session, only 30 euros. So this is like a no-brainer. It's like you don't need to take a decision. Like we took it for you. Like for only 30 euros, you have 4 hours with a psychologist and a dancer and a group of support that is going to help you to advance in your career, to grow as a person, and to fully enjoy your life. If you want to participate on this, you can write me on my social media. You can send an email, because I'm here and this is for you. We have made this to be accessible and available for everyone, so price is not a problem at all. And having said this, the review of the month, but the review of this session and how we are going to build up all these reviews. We are going to be filling all these spots in the table where you can see at a glance everything that we did today. So for example, the story was about forgetting a dream. Exploring realities, the games, was about the reality checks. The deepening exercise was about the lucid dreaming in a theater. And the wisdom was about the REM phase and the functions of dreaming. And finally, our silent materializations, where we learn about journaling, the morning pages, and also the dream interpretation. And now it's your turn. And the first of all is, who of your friends is nowadays super focused, super interested into dreams? Think about it. And now share this video with this person, because this person is going to gain so much value. He's going to learn something that they didn't know, and he's going to be so grateful and so thankful for you for having shared this video. So please think about which friend do you want to share this video. And of course, we are doing these sessions totally free every Sunday of the year. If you have any question, please write it in the YouTube box in the comments. And you can as well write, how do you feel, what have you liked, what is the most valuable thing, and what do you want for the next session. And if there is any topic that you would like to cover, join the support groups, because we are going to work exactly on this. For the next session, we are going to do it on the 6th of February. We are going to focus on the professional career, organization, and clarity. So if you are struggling with how to organize a project, how to handle all these files, they ask you, please send us the dossier, and then you have to spend 20 minutes to find that dossier of that thing that you did. Or please send us a picture, and then you have to find in all these files on the laptop, where is that picture that you want to send. We are going to learn how to declutter the mess. So if you are struggling with this, next session is going to be amazing for you. You're going to learn something super, super powerful and useful. And for me, that's all. Thank you very much. You have here the email and the social media. Please, support groups are just 30 euros per month, and they are for people like you that are struggling and need personal assistance. So you don't have to think about going to a psychologist and spending hundreds and hundreds of euros for each session. In this case, it's very accessible and it's for all of you. Thank you very much. I hope to see you in the support groups and as well as in the next session of the Free Sundays. See ya!